प्रेम से समापति महादेव की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. As we begin this beautiful day in prayer and in devotion, I invite all to stand as we're about to join in beautiful prayer and mantras. As we invite the presence of all the gods and the devatas of the heavenly region. As we're about to begin this beautiful afternoon, we pay salutations to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namo Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Partaya Pratibhuritam Bhagavata Narayanina Swayam Vyasena Kratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshine Bhagavate Ashtadashadyayini Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad-gite Bhavaraveshini Namostute Vyasa Vishalavete Ularvindraya Tapatra Netraha Yena Tvaya Bharata Tala Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradeepaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraya Kapare Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gitamrita Duhe Namaha Sarva Upanishado Gavo Gopala Nandanaha Arto Vacha Surir Bhotan Bhogamritam Mahata Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devake Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Bhishmatro Natatacha Tatajala Gandharani Lotpara Shalagrahavati Kripeda Vahani Karnina Vilakulam Ashvattama Vikarna Ghora Makaram Duryodhana Vardini Sutirna Kalupandavai Naranari Kaivartaka Keshava Parasharya Vacha Sarojamamalam Gita Tirandut Katam Nanatyanata Kaisaram Harikatha Sambhurna Voritam Loke Sajjana Shatparayaraha Pepe Amanam Pudan Uyar Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Prajvamsana Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Tangum Langete Virim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramanandamadavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Murdaha Stumantri Vesrave Vedai Sangha Padakramo Panishadai Gayantyam Samaga Jnanavasita Targatena Manasa Pashyantyam Yoginam Yasyantam Navidusura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Om Gita Ganga Chagayatri Sita Satya Saraswati Brahma Vidya Brahma Bali Tri Sandaya Mukti Rehini Ardhamatra Chidananda Bhav Agni Bhayanashini Veeratri Parananta Tattvar Jnana Manjari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Ask the Vijayendra, so take our seats. We begin our beautiful afternoon with the wonderful 40 verses of the Shri Hanuman Chalisa. Shri Guru Charana Saroj Raja Nijamana Mukura Surha Varna Raghuvara Vimala.
就 जसो 就 दायक फल चारि 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 就 दायक फ
बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या दे मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीश तिहु लोक उजागर राम दूत तुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार कुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वस्त्र और ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बस। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम राम। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिय हित कावा विकट रूप धरि रावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवार लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति की बहुत हराए तुम मम प्रिय भरत सम भाई सहस वदन रस वदन तुम रोज सगावे जय श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सरकार कलह मादे मुनीषा नारद शारद सदाई सायं कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कुविद कह सके कहाते तुम पुकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा हम मिलाय राज पर दीन। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम राम। Glories to the Lord, हनुमान जी। विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय तब जग जान योग सहस्र योजन पर भानु ताहि मधुर पल जान भगो मुद्रिका मिल मुख माहि जल दिलांगे गए अचरज नाये दुर्गम अकाल जगत में जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे देते राम द्वारे तुम रखवारे सारे सब सुख है तुम्हारे शरणा तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आप जिनहु लोग अंक दे कापे उत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम राम। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा इनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे सारा युग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियार साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता सबर दी Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram. तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिस्तरा अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाय जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाय और देवता चित्त नगर हे हनुमत से सर्व सुख करहे संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा सुमिर हनुमत बल धीर जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई दुष्ट बार पात कर कोई रूप ही बंदे महासुख होय जो यहाँ पर हनुमान चलेगा हुई सिद्धि साके गारेसा प्रसीदा सदा हरि तेरा हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम पवन तनय संकट हरना मंगल मूर्ति रो राम लक्ष्मण सीता सहित हृदय बसो प्रेम से समापति महादेव की जय श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. As we begin this beautiful afternoon in devotion, today we've come together to worship Bhagwan Shri Krishna. We've performed beautiful puja, Gita Path Puja just a few moments ago. And as we've completed worship to Bhagwan Gopal, we're here for two reasons and many more. But we're here to celebrate the life of our wonderful dad. And we're also here to pay salutations to our father who would have left this world as well. And while we have come together to glorify the deities, we have now chanted the Shri Hanuman Chalisa. For it is said to those who can listen or merely be a part of the chanting of Mahavir Swami, your lives will richly be blessed by Pavanaputra. But at this time, we will join in a chant, and then we'll go in depth to the scriptures as requested by the home and the family. We'll go into the depth of the Garuda Puran, where we touch the feet of Bhagwan Shri Krishna as he speaks to Garuda, and he gives him once more the messages of life in itself. We'll also understand the essence of life through a great saint, a saint by the name of Sage Rai Das. I'm sure not many of you would have heard of his name, but he was a powerful sage of Bharatdesh and India. And as we will go in understanding his life story, and at the same time our Garuda Puran, we join in this chant all together. Jai Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma. lamana karde prema tula karde nirmala lamana karde prema tula karde sabki sapna dilka aisa as we pay adoration to Durga Devi, we worship her in her forms and her manifestations. For it is only through the medium of Jagadamba Mata we can receive her darshan, her blessings and her guidance. Jai Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Everybody, Jai Jai Ma. Let us begin firstly as we speak of a bhakta, a great saint, a devotee of Raidas. He's called Raidas. I'm sure many people probably would have never heard his name before. We have great saints like Tulsidas and Valmiki Ji and Mirabai, Shabari Maya. But many years ago, it is said in the 15th century, there was one great saint by the name of Sage Raidas Ji. It is said he was one who came from a family of worshippers of Lord Shiva, Shivites. And they would worship Mahadev every day, every moment that they would be given the opportunity. But one day this sage, he was kicked out of the village because he was one who tried to adopt the protocol of worshipping Lord Vishnu. He felt a connection with Mahavishnu Bhagwan. And while he wanted to worship Lord Vishnu, it is said everybody of the village, being Shiva devotees, they wouldn't stand to tolerate somebody else worshipping a different god and a different deity. Those were the days and the times when you can only worship the particular deity of the village, the Gurukul, the ashram, and nothing else. And while he was kicked out, he had nothing else to do. He would roam around the streets, he would go about the forest, and then at one time in his life, he went to a different state and a different village. And there, he posed to be what we call a shoemaker. He was one who would sit down now in a little kutia that he would have built, and he will put the front of being a person who would fix people's shoes every day. But behind that, he would have an altar and he will worship Lord Vishnu. While people of that village, they were also Shivites. They never knew that this bhakta was worshipping Lord Vishnu Bhagwan. But the katha today says that when you live in the world, which house is really yours? Which companion is really yours? Which business, which association, which company, what of this world is really yours? Nothing, right? We come in the world, we enjoy what we have, and according to this bhajan we're about to sing, it is what we call rented stuff. Everything that you have today, it is termed to be rented stuff. You enjoy it for a period of time, and when you're done, you give it off to somebody else and somebody take it over. And if you don't give it to somebody else, somebody will take it from you, because a day will come where you can't even take anything again. So everything you have, as it is said in the bhajan, it is rented. We are living in a home that even though we think we've paid off for it, it is still rented. We are wearing clothing that one day we will have to give off and somebody else may take it or it may be destroyed. We use a vehicle and not for 1 second will we keep it for the day after. We're about to listen to a Garuda Puran, but before we do so, The bhajan says, understand where you are, where you stand in this world, that you can leave everything that you have right now and nobody will be able to get it back. But the people around you will be able to enjoy it. What is really yours? Think about it. मौत जब तुझको आवाज देगी. You have the voice, the आवाज, and God has given you the voice. And with the voice that you have, you can only chant, sing and glorify His name. And that is what you will take with you. Your good deeds, your good karma, and whatever you benefit from in this world. मौत जब तुझको आवाज देगी, घर से बाहर निकलना पड़ेगा. जिंदगी एक किराए का घर है, एक न एक दिन बदलना पड़ेगा. You see, this moment we have now, seize it, embrace it, adore it, celebrate in it, bask in it, because moments in your life may never come back. Enjoy this moment, because even this moment is rented. मौत जब तुझको आवाज देगी, मौत जब तुझको आवाज देगी, घर से बाहर निकलना पड़ेगा. जिंदगी एक किराए का घर है, एक न एक दिन बदलना पड़ेगा. रात के बार होगा सवेरा, देखना है अगर दिन सुनहरा. रात के बार होगा सवेरा, देखना है अगर दिन सुनहरा. पापोलों पे रखने से पहले, पापोलों से कहने से रख ले, तुझको कांटों पे चलना पड़ेगा. जिंदगी एक किराए का घर है, एक न एक दिन बदलना पड़ेगा. ये जवानी है पल भर का सपना, ढूंढ ले अब ठिकाना तो अपना. ये जवानी है पल भर का सपना, ढूंढ ले अब ठिकाना तो अपना. ये जवानी अगर जल गए तो, ये जवानी अगर अब जाएगो, उम्र भर हाथ मिलना पड़ेगा. जिंदगी एक किराए का घर है, एक न एक दिन बदलना पड़ेगा. It is said the world that we live in today, it is one that is never promised. People have expectations of life. People have expectations of a day or things that may about to be manifested in your path and in your life, but nothing is certain in the world. And today, while we sit here with a family who have performed the Gita part to reflect on our Father who lived his life, one day we will only become memories. What kind of memories do you want people to remember you by? What kind of thoughts do you want people to keep you by in your mind and in their minds and their consciousness? Today, the bhajan says that we will only be here today and now, but nobody knows of the hereafter. While Raidas, he sits in a village that he doesn't know. He's selling shoes. He's repairing shoes for people. And at the same time, people gradually, while coming to him, will smell the fragrance of incense, only to realize that he's doing prayer. But to which deity? One that they don't worship, which is Lord Vishnu. मौत जब तुझको आवाज देगी, मौत जब तुझको आवाज देगी, घर से बाहर निकलना पड़ेगा। जिंदगी जिंदगी एक किराए का घर है, एक ना एक दिन बदलना पड़ेगा। जिंदगी एक किराए का घर, एक ना एक दिन बदलना पड़ेगा। मौत जब तुझको आवाज देगी, मौत जब तुझको आवाज देगी, घर से बाहर निकलना पड़ेगा। जिंदगी एक किराए का घर है, एक ना एक दिन बदलना पड़ेगा। श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Raidas is a great saint. He sat in a village where nobody loves or worships Lord Krishna because they are Shivites. So one day, one fellow is about to go to repair a shoe, and when he reaches there, he smells the fragrance of agarbatti and incense. And when he smells the fragrance, he says, "Arey bhaiya, today you've performed beautiful Lord Shiva puja. I could smell the incense in the atmosphere, in the air." And he stopped for a second, and before he could answer, he says, "Yes, I did puja today." Not to lie or to say which deity, but yes, today I did puja. He says, "Can I make an offering, please?" He lives in a place where nobody worships Lord Vishnu, but they are Shivites, and now he's scared as to tell which God is he worshipping. Today in the world, many people are scared to tell people to even pray. Today in the world, many people are scared to tell many people that we even worship God. We stand bold and we say, "You know what? No." I was actually talking to somebody recently, and they say, "I don't need to pray now. I'm a bad man." Some people think, "You know what? I'm a bad man in society. I'm a tough guy. I don't need to pray." And when they go back home, they're the ones lighting the diya and saying a prayer and say, "Lord, give me strength. Make me strong. Make me mighty." He was one who couldn't speak as to which God he was speaking or worshipping. Our ancestors came like this. Today we are doing Pitri Puja, we are doing Gita Part Puja for somebody who's departed. But think about all the ancestors in their day and in their time when they had to hide to pray. You all know of that time? So as to mention, somebody was asking me recently, we was having a little discussion. I will tell you what I have heard, and I'm not telling you what I know, but I'll tell you what I've heard and tell me if you think it makes sense. So long ago, the ancestors, when they came into Trinidad and they had to hide in their little spots and do prayers and puja, one of the prayer that they would have performed was called the D Puja, Kal Bhairav Puja. Not so? You all know that, right? And how they used to perform the Kal Bhairav Puja? Traditionally, we know today that people do Kal Bhairav Puja, but what do we offer for the prayers? Yeah, you offer what? A little bit of rum and some cigarette. And we say, through the ancestors, we know that my father used to do it, my grandfather used to do it, my great-grand. And it's a tradition now. We say, we have to offer the Baba the incense in the form of the cigarette. And we are there to now offer the alcohol. But let me tell you something. While speaking to our old man at the age of 96, I was saying, "Papa, tell me now." So like I say, I'm telling you what I heard and what I know. Because I know many people's opinion may be different. I said, "But why do you offer a Devta, a God, such offerings?" And he says, "Son, let me tell you, we had to hide and pray." We speak about Raidas today. we had to hide and pray. And if we had to pray and anybody would see us, then those in authority will destroy us, they will beat us, they will break up everything we had, and they will kill us too. So you know what? We had to hide, and we didn't know how to get any puja items. There's no puja items then. You can't even hide and get little flowers. So in order to worship the gods, this is what they had to do. And I said, what did you have to do? He says we had to now hide, and we had to take sugar cane because we were sugar cane workers. And we had to cut the sugar cane, and we had to hide it in a corner. And when we hide it there now, at some point we will try to squeeze out the juice so Bhagavan will get something to drink. You know, this is how we will offer God something to drink. So we will squeeze out the juice, and when we get the juice, we'll hide it in a little container somewhere so nobody could find it. And that juice of the sugar cane will remain there for days and sometimes weeks before we offer it. And then now, because we were beaten and we had to wake from early morning to late night, we used to smoke a little tobacco and thing. So in order to smoke now the tobacco, we had to roll it up and hide it in a corner. Now when it was time to do puja, we had nothing else to offer. We didn't know how to offer Bhagwan some milk or coconut. So what did we offer? He says we had to take the sugar cane juice that was fermented. And sugar cane juice fermented is what? Yeah, alcohol. So traditionally they started to put alcohol. And we didn't have agarbatti and incense and Hanuman incense and so on. So in turn, the same thing we smoke, we roll up a little tobacco and we light it up in a corner and say, Bhagwan, this is what we have. So you take a little thing, that's the incense. And they will offer that as the incense. And traditionally coming down the road now, we know that when time to offer the Baba Prasad, you're going to put a little bit of rum and you're going to put cigarette. But what is the real offering that is offered in India? It is the coconuts. It is the coconut water. It is the sugarcane juice. It is not the fermented. It is not the cigarettes, but it is actually the agarbatti or the incense that is offered. They were scared to pray. They had to hide to pray. Nobody could have seen them, otherwise they would have lost their life. Today, Raidas, that is how his life is. He has to hide and pray. And when that merchant decided to ask now, can I see your God, please? He says, I will show you, but my God is unique in a different form. Can you please not tell anybody? He says, well, the merchant says, well, I will think about it, but don't worry, man, your secret is good with me. He is thinking that you will see another form of Lord Shiva. And when he walked in and he saw Lord Vishnu's form, there was a light, there was agarbatti, there was fruits. He stopped and he says, but this is not Lord Shiva. This is a different form. This is not Mahadev. And when he looked at Raidas, the great sage, he says, please, I understand that this is something that you don't accommodate in your village. Can you stay quiet? He says, yes, don't worry, I will stay quiet. And he paid obeisance to the Divine Lord. But when he walked out, who can you trust to keep your secrets? Who can you trust to speak to about your life? Who can you trust to tell somebody, hey, here's what, I'm going to tell you something, but stay quiet, The day you tell somebody, I'm going to tell you something, stay quiet, well, no, that thing will not go like fire all over the place. You can never tell and you cannot trust people of the world, because the more you say, stay quiet, it's the more they're ready to tell the world. Listen. Lauta ke aaj, lauta ke aaj, lauta ke aaj, lauta ke aaja mere geet, lauta ke aaja mere तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं मेरा सोना पराए संगे मेरा सोना पराए संगे तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं से है मन अब तो आजा शीता पवन ये लगाए अगर न हो साजन तो मुकरा देगा जा तूने भले निभाए तूने भले भी तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। अनादिनिधनो देवः शङ्खचक्रगदाधरः अक्षयपुण्डरीकाक्ष प्रेतमोक्षो प्रदो भव। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Our secrets may never be a secret to the world. Be careful of who you speak to. Be careful of who you talk to. Be careful who knows your life and knows your story. Be careful of what you have to do and what you have to say in the world, because in the age we live in today, not many people are to be trusted. Our katha says that Raidas, he looked at the merchant and he says, please, don't tell anybody about it. Can you please hold back that thought? And while the merchant leaves, he says, don't worry. He heads outside of the little shoe hut, and he goes directly to the king of the village. And when he goes there, he tells the king of every single thing that he saw and everything that he heard. The king at that point, hearing that there is worship of a different deity in a place that is supposed to worship Lord Shiva, he won't accept such things. So you know what he decides to do? He decides at that point now to send down some warriors, to send down some of the men of the palace, to capture this Raidas, this sage, to lock him up and to put him to the test, because he is supposed to be a Shivite. Imagine in a day and age where the devatas would have walked the earth, you have to be scared to pray. Imagine today where you can also pray freely. Even now, people are scared to pray. Imagine even nowadays, people are scared to tell people who they worship. Imagine there are many people today who are scared to tell the world who's their God and who they worship, when you should be proud of your culture, proud of your religion, and proud of your dharma. Today, when Raidas is captured and is taken to the palace, the king doesn't put him into the jail cell immediately. He says, I want to test Raidas, this sage. I want to test him. Tell him to bring his murti and come. So Raidas holds on to his Bhagwan Krishna and he walks into the palace. And when he walks into the palace, the king says, Baitu, take a seat. I want to ask you a question. Why do you hold on to such a murti? Why don't you worship Mahadev? What is there so good about your God that you walk with your God, which is a different form? And why don't you worship Lord Shiva? And Raidas says to him, my God is powerful, that is why. He says, powerful? Tell me, show me, what can your God do? And you know what he says? He says, listen, he put this murti on top of a table, and the murti is just standing there. And he says, listen, if you can sing with a pure heart, my murti will leave here and jump on top of your lap and dance. So the king says, okay. He calls his ministers, hey, come. Which of you can sing? Come, sit down, sing. I want to see this murti leave here and jump up and dance. So two of the ministers, they came and they sat down and they started to sing. While they're singing, nothing is happening. They're singing, 10 minutes pass, 15 minutes pass, half an hour. The king says, stop, nothing is happening. I think you should be put to death. You're claiming to say something that is not true. It is false. He says, no, try again. So the king sits down now and he says, okay, let me try. The king sits and he decides that he will try to sing for himself. And while he will try to sing with a voice that is not accustomed to prayer and worship, he tries to sing and nothing happens. The murti is standing there. And Raidas says, let me show you how it is done. Do you remember one of that popular song of Mirabai? Sham teri bansi pukare, Radhana. It is said when Meera sang this song, Bhagavan Krishna wanted to dance. The love that comes from your heart to God should be from here, not here. Sham teri bansi pukare Radhana, log kare Meera to yo hi barna, log kare Meera to yo hi barna. सावरे की बंसी तू बजने के काम, सावरे की बंसी तू भजने के काम। राधा का भी शाम हो तो मेरा का भी शाम, राधा का भी शाम हो तो मेरा का भी शाम। शाम तेरी बंसी पुकारे राधा नाम, शाम तेरी बंसी पुकारे राधा नाम। लोग करे मेरा तो योग करना, लोग करे मेरा तो योग लोग करे मेरा तो योगी प्रणाम, लोग करे मेरा तो योगी प्रणाम, लोग करे मेरा योगी प्रणाम। शाम तेरी बंसी पुकारे राधा नाम, लोग करे मेरा तो योगी प्रणाम। श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। It is said in our message today that while Bhagavan Shri Krishna sits in his beautiful Vaikunt, he looks down to see the guru that was being taught yet at that point, and he says to his goddess, he says, Devi, I think I need to help him. I need to take him out of the bondage that he's about to be in. So Bhagavan Krishna is about to bless him. At that point, Raidas decides to sing Sham Teri Bansi. And when he sings, to his surprise, the murti that is standing there, it is said the hands will start to move gradually. It is said the body will start to transform, like the shell of a stone simply falling off. And the murti, it is said, jumped from the table that it was on, and it jumped onto the lap of Raidas. Everybody who were there, they were there to witness that this murti had turned to life, and it jumped on the lap of Raidas. And it danced for literally 30 seconds. And after dancing, it turned back into the stone, the marble that it was supposed to be. And Raidas looked at the king. He was surprised. He wiped his eyes and he says, no, I can't believe it. Is this true? Is it real? He couldn't believe what he saw. You see, the miracles of God in our lives sometimes may not be believable by the physical eyes. But when you have faith, then anything is possible. Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. The faith that you have in the world is something that should never be unshakable. It should never be shakable rather, but it should be unshakable. The love that you have for God, the faith that you have in your culture, your dharma, and what God should do for you should be something that is never broken. Raidas, that day, he was about to walk away when the king looked at him and he says, today I was about to behead you, but your life was saved. Tell me, what do you want in turn as a guidance and as a blessing of the kingdom? And when Raidas was about to walk away, he says to the king, he says, great king, there are many people who will not prepare for life and many people who will not prepare for death. We wake up every day and we're not sure what's going to happen in the day. We're not saying we're going to die, but you're not sure what's going to happen every day. And how to prepare for life and how to prepare for death. It's two different things. How do you prepare for your day when you start your day? And how do you prepare if you're about to die? Bhagavan Shri Krishna says in Garuda Puran, to those whose mind, thought, body, speech, consciousness, energy, aura, to those whose energy is filled with Bhagavan and only Bhagavan, then you're preparing yourself for life. But when you're about to die and you may be lying on a deathbed, then Garuda Puran speaks about what happens at that point. What should you do to prepare yourself if you're about to leave this world? आया समय बड़ा बेदंगा, आज आदमी बना लफंगा, कहीं पे झगड़ा कहीं पे दंगा, नाच रहा नर होकर नंगा, चल और कपट के हाथों अपना बिचराया ये मान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, देख तेरे कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान। राम के भक्त रहीम के बंदे, रखते आज करीब के बंदे। कितनी ये मक्कार अंधे, देख ले इनकी भी धंधे। इन्हीं की कालों को कर को ये मोह महान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान। It is said in our scripture today, Bhagwan Shri Krishna speaks to Garuda, and that is why it is called the Garuda Puran. Bhagwan Shri Krishna, he was speaking to Garuda one day, and Garuda says, Prabhu, please tell me, how does one prepare oneself for when they are about to die? One day we will become old, one day we will lie down on a bed, maybe death will just come and take us in a sleep, in a dream. Or maybe for some of us, we may lie on a bed for 1 week, or maybe 2, or maybe a month, or maybe months, and we'll be there, maybe suffering. Who knows our karma? Who knows our destiny? Who knows what will take place? But if you know at some point that your body is ready to give up, your mind is ready to give up, then what do you do to elevate yourself in this world? Bihari Lal ki jai. So how do you prepare yourself when you're about to die? We always hear people say that when somebody is about to die or they're on their deathbed, we hear people say, give them Ganga Jal. Not so? We say give them Ganga water. Some people say take a Hanuman Chalisa and place it by their head. Some people say sit down and chant Bhagwan's name again and again, constant repetition. But today, according to chapter 8 of the Garuda Puran, Bhagwan Shri Krishna says that when an unfavorable times comes for an individual and they are about to die, they are about to leave this world, there are many things that you can do. First of all, he says, to the person who is on their deathbed, lying there, cannot move, but can hold a shaligram in their hand, the God of death himself cannot touch you. The moment of death may come, but Bhagwan Shri Krishna will take you. So not many people know the difference of the shaligram. Some people have a lingam and we say we have a shaligram. The shaligram will be small and will be a stone that will be totally black. It has to be total black. When Lord Vishnu was shrapped and he was cursed to become the shaligram, he was cursed to be a black stone. That's it. When you see the little ones and you see colors, like you see a white ring around it and so on, those are different types of lingam. Because Lord Shiva has a form where the lingam will be wrapped with the white as a representation of the Sheshnag. Whenever you see the pure black, that in itself is a shaligram. It says to those who can keep a shaligram near your bedhead, to those who can keep a shaligram in your hands if you know that you're about to die. Maybe your mother is old and she's about to part. Maybe your father, he's about to reach a point where he's about to depart and you don't know, but you know at some point he will leave. You keep the shaligram in his hand. Tell him just hold on to it. If you can put a tulsi leaf on it as well, that is very powerful. Bhagwan Shri Krishna says to those who can worship the shaligram, it's powerful. If you can hold on to it, it is good. More so if you know that you're coming close to that point of leaving the world and you can do worship. Sometimes you can't move much. But if you could have them, just simply hold a little lota, a small one maybe, and just offer a little water on top of the shaligram. Bhagwan Shri Krishna says offer milk on the shaligram. Make offerings of agarbati, incense. To those who can offer a light, diya. To those who can offer any form of offering like prasad, flowers, and red saffron, or in turn, scriptures would term it to be sindoor, on top of the shaligram. When the time comes to leave the world, Bhagwan Shri Krishna will be there to take you and not the God of death with all the pains and the suffering. Garuda Puran chapter 8 says that to those who can offer and chant the 8-syllabled or the 12-syllabled mantra. Which mantra is that? Om Namo Bhagavate वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। बोलिए ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 To those who can chant this mantra and make offerings to the saligram, your lives can be saved from 3/4 of the torture that you might have to go through because of the life you live. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says to the person who may not be able to move, to the one whose body may be diseased, to the person who may die of an illness, a sickness, something that has attacked the body, he says to those who can worship the saligram, it is very powerful. Not many people know of worship to the saligram, but there's one such form of worship. It is said that when Bhagavan Shri Krishna had turned into the black stone, all the gods, they bathed him with milk. And in bathing him with milk, he was known, or his worship was known to be one of the most powerful forms of worship. Listen. सालिग्राम सुनो बिनती मोरे, यह वरदान दया कर पाओ। सालिग्राम सुनो बिनती मोरे, यह वरदान दया कर पाओ। सालिग्राम सुनो बिनती मोरे, यह वरदान दया कर पाओ। If you worship the saligram, a varadan, a gift is given to your life. Saligram suno binate more, yah varadan daya kar pao. Saligram suno binate more, yah varadan. मुखमंजन करके परम सहित स्नान करावना। प्रातः समय मुखमंजन करके परम सहित स्नान करावन। उपदीप तुलसी जी की माला, उपदीप तुलसी जी की माला, बार बार का बोल चलाओ। सालिग्राम सुनो बिनती मोरे, क्या वरदान दया कर पाओ। जपना भोग जुटिए सुजन भन, नाना वेदी को भोग लगाओ। जपना भोग जुटिए सुबन जन, नाना वेदी को भोग लगाओ। आकमूर चरणमृत लेकर, आकमूर चरणमृत लेकर, तुम सहित वैकुंठ बताओ। सालिग्राम सुनो बिनती मोरे, वरदान दया कर पाओ। जो काया से पाप कर सो, परिकरुणा को साथ बहाओ। जो काया से पाप कर सो, परिकरुणा को सोत लगाओ। मधुदास कहे कर जोरी, मधुदास कहे कर जोरी, अर्कने रखए हरे गुण गाओ सालिग्राम सुनो बिनती मोरे क्या वरदान दया कर पाओ सालिग्राम सुनो बिनती मोरे क्या वरदान दया कर पाओ 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 सालिग्राम सुनो बिनती मोरे क्या वरदान दया कर पाओ सालिग्राम सुनो बिनती मोरे क्या वरदान दया प्रेम से सुमापति महादेव की जय. It is said to the person who worships the saligram and not just make an offering, but to the one who makes the offering to the saligram with full faith. Many people do prayers and many people do worship and offerings to the gods, but it is done with the robotic energy because we have to pray or we have to make an offering. To those who pray because your heart is filled with that want and that wanting to do worship, it is said Bhagwan accepts every offering. You know, like it is said, in the beginning of the day and the ages, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, and this age, Kali Yuga, in the beginning of times, it is said when people had to pray, they had to stand up probably on one foot for so many years in order for Bhagwan to bless them. But in this day and age, Bhagwan says what? Patram pushpam pulam tuyam yomi bhakti priyachati. He says if you can offer one drop of water, one fruit, one leaf, one flower, whatever it may be. You see, when you pray, all faith and love, forget the whole world. When you pray, forget everybody who's around you. Forget everything that is in existence. Forget what you have and what you don't have. Forget grudges and animosity. People in your life, in your job, in your personal life. Forget the world. And when you pray, pray with a pure heart because you're inviting Bhagwan to bless you. You're inviting Bhagwan to take you out of misery. Imagine one day will come where we will lie down on our bed and you will look up and you will see God are dead standing there. Everybody this is going to happen to. Imagine that. Anybody prepared to die? No? Imagine one day all of we have to face that. However big you are, however small you are, however accomplished you are, whatever you have, whatever you don't have, one day you will have to lie down on a bed and you will see that person standing in front of you and he will look at you and he will show you the time and he will say, time to go. What will you do when that time comes? Don't call me, you know. What will you do when that moment comes? I will have to face it. You will have to face it. In order to secure it, one day Bhagavan Shri Krishna spoke to Garuda and he says, Garuda, he says the wise people in the world whose life will be motivated will be the one who keeps God close to them and in turn allow God's name to resonate around them. Don't be like Ajamil Das. Anybody know who's Ajamil from Mahabharata? Anybody know who's Ajamil? Ajamil was the person who lived a bad life, a rogus life. He did all the wrong thing in the world. And he was the one with the story that many people hear. He named his son Gopal. You all ever hear that? You never hear that story? He lived a bad life and he heard that if you call God's name with your last breath before you die, Bhagavan is going to come and take you on a golden chariot. So he named his son Gopal. So when he would lie down there, no matter whatever bad life he had, he will think of his son because he will always call his son to help him out. And if God had that coming and he said Gopal, that means you call God's name. So you get saved. But it's not so easy because when he was about to die, and he was ready to say Gopal, Gopal wasn't far, but before he could say Gopal, the god of death sent his Yamduts and he says, today you won't trick us. And two of the Yamduts tied his tongue still and he couldn't even say a word. And while his soul was about to leave, even he couldn't be saved. The only thing that can help us is the name of Prabhu. The only thing that can guide us out of the world is the name of Bhagwan. And Garuda Puran says, chant the name of Prabhu. He says to those who can chant the manifold names. I'll tell you about the manifold names in a few moments. But to those who can chant the manifold names, your life will be rich. But while you're here, understand that life is filled with the pain and the pleasures of the world. You will have sunny days and you will have rainy days. Is that true? You have sunny days and you have rainy days. It's raining. Just not let the sun come out. We will have sunny days in our life. We'll have rainy days in our lives. We'll have days where we will smile and we have days where we will cry. We have days where we will feel strong and there are days that we'll feel weak. But when those days come, what will you do? He says, like rolling a dice. You don't know which number will call and which day will come, the good one or the bad one. But remember that no matter how the day rolls, there's an opportunity and there's a chance to win. Who can choose it? When you roll the dice, there's an opportunity and a chance that you could win or you could lose. The same thing with your day. Only you can decide what you roll when the day comes. भले भी दिन आते जगत में बुरे भी दिन आते करवे मीते पर कर्म के यहाँ सभी पाते कभी सीधे कभी उल्टे पड़ते अजब समय के पाँव कभी धूप कभी छाँव कभी धूप कभी छाँव दुख सुख दोनों रहते जिसमें जीवन है वो गाँव कभी धूप कभी छाँव कभी धूप कभी छाँव भी दिन आते जगत में बुरे भी दिन आते भले भी दिन आते जगत में बुरे भी दिन आते करवे मीते पर कर्म के यहाँ सभी पाते कभी सीधे कभी उल्टे पड़ते अजब समय के पाँव कभी धूप कभी छाँव कभी धूप कभी छाँव क्या खुशियाँ क्या गम ये सब मिलते बारे बारे क्या खुशियाँ क्या गम ये सब मिलती बारे बारे मालिक के मर्जी पे चलते ये दुनिया सारे ध्यान से कहना जगन लिया में बंदे अपने नाव कभी धूप कभी छाँव कभी धूप कभी छाँव Prem Susumapati Mahadev ki jai. By constant chanting of the name of Prabhu. Today in Garuda Puran, when Garuda speaks of Bhagavan Krishna, he says worship the saligram. He says chant the name of God. Chant that 8 or 12 syllable mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And he says most importantly, to those who can chant the many names of Prabhu. The many names of the Divine Lord who has taken Dasha Avatar has been mentioned. Do you all know any of the forms of Dash Avatar? Dash Avatar means Dash is how much? How much is Dash? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. Dash Avatar means 10 forms. What are the 10 forms? We know Lord Krishna, we know Lord Ram. Bhagwan had taken avatars of Vamana Avatar. He had taken the Narasimha Avatar. He had taken the Kurma Avatar, the tortoise. He had taken many Parashurama, many different avatars in order to once more reach the age of Kali Yuga in which we are here. And then we always hear that the last Devata to come will be the 10th, which will be called the Kalki Avatar. But today, Garuda says, to those who can worship the many different names and forms of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, their lives will be comfortable. When you're about to die, there are certain rules and regulations that were put down by our scriptures. It is said when one is about to die, to those who can give certain gifts before they die, their lives will definitely turn around from pains and suffering. What are the gifts that are recommended? There are what we call the 8-fold forms of gift that one must give before they die or at the brink of dying. He says to those who can give black till, which is a form of, as we know, that seed. To those who can give iron in a gift as a gift, to those who could give gold as a gift, to those who could give salt as a gift, to those who could give 7 grains as a gift, to those who can give a cow, and to those who could give a plot of land. It is said to those who could give these 8-fold forms of gift or gifts in turn, any one of them given at any point uplifts one before they die. When somebody's about to die long ago in India, and I know even recently we were seeing in Guyana as well, we know when somebody dies, you have the 6-month shroud and his soul reaches the Vaiternity Nadi or the river to cross. That is when the soul needs a cow to cross. Recently, many people, we give the cow down before we die, which is very good. You're supposed to do that. But to those last minute who were not given the opportunity to do it, when the 6 months reach, that is the time you can give any one of these recommended in our scriptures. You can give either black teal, you can give iron, gold, cotton, salt, 7 grains, a plot of land, or even a cow. It is said giving a plot of land is also equal to giving a cow to those who may not be fortunate enough to give. Bhagavan Krishna says at the dying moment in your bed, you should not be holding on to land, holding on to wealth. Today we know that's a common thing. Today we know people lying down there and he's so ready to leave, and even at that point they're saying, well, make sure you hold on to the deed there when they're there to give it. And yet they're holding on to this. It says give it away on the dying moment. If you could give away such things, that in itself is a blessing. Do not hold on to it. And if you want to chant the different names of the gods, the different name of Lord Krishna, what are the different names? We know it in a song, but it has been mentioned in our scriptures. To those who can chant Achyuta, Keshava, Rama, Nayana, Krishna, Damodara, Vasudeva, Hari, Sridhara, Madhava, Gopika, Vallabha, Ramachandra, Janaki. Those are the different names recommended. And which song goes like that? Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram, Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram, Ramanarayanam Janaki Vallavam, Ramanarayanam Janaki Vallavam. कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, तुम मीरा जी जैसे बुलाते नहीं, तुम मीरा की जैसे बुलाते नहीं. कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, वीर शबरी की जैसे खिलाते नहीं, वीर शबरी की जैसे खिलाते नहीं. सोते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं, माँ यशोदा की जैसे सुलाते नहीं, माँ यशोदा की जैसे सुलाते नहीं. कौन some of the words mentioned in our beautiful Garuda Puran that speaks of one who is about to leave this world and what should be given. And there are many, many more things when living on the path of righteousness that should be given in the name of the ancestors, the forefathers, and those who would have left us to go on to the heavenly abode. While, as we say, there's heaven and hell right here on the earth, there's what we call also the astral heaven and the astral hell. According to the first few pages or the introductory pages of the Garuda Puran, it is said that there's what you call the physical realm and there's called the astral realm, and this is the physical one. Whereas the astral realm is a realm where you will still face the negativities, where you will still face the joy, but at the same time, one day you have to come back here. Who wants to come back here in the world? Who wants to come back and face sufferings and temptations and trouble and miseries and distress and pain and sickness and temptations? Who wants to face it when you can stand above in the heavenly abode and enjoy life in eternity at the hands of the divine Lord? Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. It is said, if you worship Radha Krishna, then you will go to the beyond and you will live in Vrindavan in the heavenly abode. At this time now, we are diverting our message now. Because after Garuda Puran and listening to our scriptures that speaks about life and death in itself, now we divert because today, as requested by our family, we are also celebrating our birthday. And by celebrating our birthday, you know, it is a very sad thing. When I spoke to Dad and I came earlier, I don't know if Dad, you told him anything. But it is so sad that everybody loses somebody in their life, a mother and a father and a brother and a sister and a friend and somebody. And people die, of course, and it is understood that people will die and people take birth. But today, while we are performing a shroud for our father, we are celebrating our birthday. Now, how much mixed emotions do you think may be here today? Imagine doing a funeral one day or losing your father one day and that is the day of your birthday. That is sad. Today, we want to sing now, glorify Prabhu, and say, Lord, while a son would have done everything that he has to do in the right way for his father, today he has to celebrate his life. And in celebrating his life, we sing this beautiful one. Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. Jaya Radhe, वृषभानु जय कीर्ति जय सुंदरी जय वृषभानु जय कीर्ति सुंदरी जय पूर्णमासी जय वीणगे जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन कृष्णाय वसुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपाकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः It is said the gurus are the pillars of strength in our life, and they mean everything to us. And when you hold on to the strength of the guru, your mother, your father, even though they've left and they've gone to the beyond, as long as you keep the image in your mind, when you die one day, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, the God of death, he turns to you and he says, while you are alive, did you worship the gods, the angels that I've sent you to take care of you? Did you worship the parents who would have stood in your life to sacrifice? Did you worship and did you adore them? Did you make them happy in many ways? And most importantly, you see what Dad did today, the final rituals. Did you do your final rituals for your parents? That is very important in Garuda Puran. Many children, when somebody dies or when a parent or mother or father passes away, we run from the responsibilities of doing the Shrad. But Bhagavan Shri Krishna would ask in the 9th chapter of Garuda Puran, would you or do you perform the rites that you would have had to perform because they are your guru? This beautiful bhajan says, मेरा आपकी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है मेरा आपकी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है कर तो हो तुम कन्हैया मेरा नाम हो रहा है कर तो हो तुम कन्हैया मेरा नाम हो रहा है मेरा आपकी कृपा से सब काम वाणी से गुणगान कैसा गाहो, तेरे पुराण से ये नाम हो रहा है, तेरे पुराण से ये नाम हो रहा है। करते हो तुम कन्हैया सब मिल हो रहा है, मेरा आपकी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है, सब काम हो रहा है, सब काम हो Today, my friends, while we're worshipping our Lord in the form of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, today now as we're celebrating Janmadin, we're about to invite the family members. I know we have a cake to cut, so you can prepare the cake to cut while we will do this beautiful bhajan. Once more dedicated to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, inviting Bhagavan Gopal to guide us, to bless us as we're here. And more importantly, so today, Dad, after reflecting on your father, who would have left this world, in turn, we will take this moment to simply thank God for the life, the energy that we've been blessed with. And to all those who came to join with our family, once more on behalf of the entire family, we are giving a special thanks to all who are here. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langete girim Yatkripatamaham vande Padamanandamadavam Shri Govindavyo namo namaha. Jivane marane gate Jugala kishore जीवाने मराने गते जुगला किशोर राधा कृष्ण प्राणमो युगला किशोर राधा कृष्ण प्राणमो युगला किशोर जीवाने Radha Krishna तेरा आऊंगे देवो तना तेरा गाना चामरा दोला भोकावे चानारा दोला भोकावे अनदे मुख चंद्रा दीवाने मराने गते करना किशोर राधा कृष्ण प्राणमो युगला किशोर राधा कृष्ण प्राणमो युगला किशोर दीवाने मराने गते युगला किशोर दीवाने मराने गते युगला किशोर राधा कृष्ण प्राण युगला किशोर. Prem sa Sumapati Mahadev ki. We're about to now join in the cutting of the cake. So we join all together as we praise our dad on this beautiful day of his. One line first of all. बार बार दिन ये आए बार बार दिल ये गाए तुझे हजार साल ये मेरी है आरज़ू. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Daddy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Daddy. Happy birthday to you. We dedicate this one to you, Daddy. प्रेम पति का मतुआ पिलाए के प्रेम पति का मतुआ पिलाए के चाप तिलक सब चीनी रे मुझे नैना मिलाए के चाप तिलक सब चीनी रे मुझे नैना मिलाए. गोरी गोरी भैया हरी हरी चूड़िया गोरी गोरी भैया गोरी गोरी भैया हरी हरी चूड़िया भैया पकर हरली नीरे मुझे नैया मिलाए के चापत तिलक सब चीनी रे मुझे नैना मिलाए के. बल बल जाऊं मैं तोरा रंग रजवा बल बल जाऊं मैं बल बल जाऊं मैं तोरा रंग रजवा तोरा रंग रजवा तोरा रंग रजवा बल बल जाऊं मैं तोरा रंग रजवा अपनी से रंग दिए दीनी रे मुझे नैना मिलाए के चाप तिलक सब चीनी रे मुझे नैना मिलाए के. मुसनैना चाप तिलक सब चीनी रे मुसनैना मिला के पवदात्रे Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Let's give them Dad a round of applause. Happy birthday to you, Dad. On behalf of all of us here today, we would like to wish you a happy birthday. Blessings of the divine Lord. Also divine strength, being that you have to now undergo this every year, where you will think of your dad and then you will think of your birthday at the same time. May you have this strength to always be blessed by not only Bhagwan, but also by your dad. But this time now, as we do conclude, let us all stand as we're about to join in a beautiful Arty. As we invite our dad, family members to wave the divine light around the Bedi, and you could pass her to the home as well. श्री बाके बिहारी तेरी आरती गाओ प्यारी आपको रिजाओ आरती गाओ प्यारी आपको रिजाओ श्री बाके बिहारी तेरी आरती गाओ श्री बाके बिहारी तेरी आरती गाओ गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय 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 राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव कृष्णं विष्णुं श्रीधरं माधवं मधुसूदनं श्रीधरं माधवं मधुसूदनं कृष्णं विष्णुं श्रीधरं माधवं मधुसूदनं कृष्णं विष्णुं श्रीधरं माधवं मधुसूदनं गोविन्दं 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 श्रीरामं गोविन्दं 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 श्रीरामं रामं रामं रघुपति रामं रामं रघुपति रामं रामं रघुपति रामं रामं रघुपति कृष्णं श्रीधरं माधवं मधुसूदनं कृष्णं विष्णुं श्रीधरं राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 स्वामी नाथ सच्चिदानंदा स्वामीनाथा सच्चिदानंदा जय गुरुदत्ता जय हनुमंता स्वामीनाथा प्रेम से सुमापति महादेव की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय जय।